Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Dan Klett, and I'm so happy that he's here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'd love to be with you, Caroline. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you. I can feel it. You are in good mood, and I would like to introduce you to the audience. Of course, you are an author, leadership coach, and founder of Operation Greatness. With a background in journalism and media, including roles as a newspaper editor, radio DJ, and TV host, you now empower individuals to overcome fear, embrace purpose, and shine their light. Through your books like Reignited America and initiatives such as Operation Greatness, you inspire people to stop playing small and live boldly. Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Dan Klett.
Thank you very much, Caroline. I'm looking forward to bringing out the best in everyone joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm inspired already. And my first question is, what inspired you to launch Operation Greatness, and how does it help people overcome fear and step into their purpose?
Okay, well, that's a really interesting question. Okay, so let's just say I've gotten a little caught up in the whole election thing in the US and the whole, it's one side versus the other. What really stood out for me is that we're very disconnected now. For me, that means we're disconnected from our power, first and foremost. It's okay. So my framework is, if you picture a line from the bottom, from 0 to 100 at the top, and that's a measure of percentage, my knowing is, and I want everyone hearing this to see where they are on this percentage chart here, this spectrum. My knowing is that our purpose is, I talk about this in terms of receiving God, opening ourselves up to our full potential, you might say. Or my knowing is that our work is to receive God at the level of 100%. And like I say, we've gotten disconnected. We've become so externally focused. My validation is outside of me. On social media, if somebody unfriends me or if they criticize me, oh no, I have to shrink. And really, our lives are about opening ourselves and our power and our potential and be shining the light we are. So I saw how disconnected we had become as a people, as a society, as our human family. And it's like we keep shrinking down. And another way of looking at it is like 0 and 100, open to God. And to me, like Jesus Christ is the example of 100 out of 100. And he said, all these things I have done, you will do yourself, and so much more. So I just saw that I can see this. So it's the seers in the world who are here to share with everyone else what they are not seeing. So, and you could look at it also, if you don't like the whole, if you're not a whatever, if you don't like Jesus or God or whatever, then you could look at it as knowledge is 100 and ignorance is 0. And we've been digressing so much down to 0. And that's the path of destruction. So this is actually saving humanity.
I understand, even though I know when people say I understand, they don't understand. So but I know what you mean. And I love this analogy. I never heard of it before, like it with the scale, or how you call this, with the line from ignorance to knowledge. Yes, or 0 to 100%, and 100% is Jesus. And I always imagine also Jesus as a frequency. So when you are on that frequency, we can talk in terms of gratitude or love, the frequency of love and light, unconditional love and light. And this is something I think everyone can relate to, even though they are, and it is not like you don't like the word Jesus. It's they have resistance. They have people have resistance because it is because of ignorance. Now I understand. It is ignorance means some say is not knowing, but I'm not sure if it's not rather not wanting to know, because the knowledge is there. And it's about, you said opening up. No, I'm just translating into my language,
Right.
into my vocabulary, that I can understand this, what you mean. And I love what you shared. So I am inspired now. Of course, I have another question. Maybe we can expand on that. This was also a word you didn't use, but you said it is about opening up and presenting yourself as the 100% and more. Because, and I remember this verse from the Bible, in greater work shall be done, something like that. I don't know this in English, but
Yes.
I improve constantly. Yes, I know what you mean. Thank you so much. You describe this period as the greatest shift in human history. What do you believe has caused this collective awakening, and how can individuals embrace it?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you, Caroline. So, okay, just to add to something from the last question, when you're to respond to what you're talking about with between knowing and ignorance and opening, another way to look at it, which is really important, I think, for people to see, is ego at the bottom, zero, and love at the top. Because how many people are coming from ego? Oh, this person is attacking me, I have to attack back. And that's so it's like, where are you on that spectrum between 0 and 100? There's so much within just that contemplation. So now, actually, I went back to that and I lost track of what you just asked. Can you
Oh,
remind
I
me
can
again?
I can repeat the question. And when you talked about, so this reminded me also of the book Level of Consciousness by David Hawkins.
Oh,
Maybe,
definitely.
yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
huge. Yes.
So good. Okay, I repeat the question and then you add to this. I love our conversation because it works. So you describe this period as the
Oh,
greatest
thank you.
shift in human history. What
Yeah.
do you believe has caused this collective awakening, and how can individuals embrace it?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I knew it was very, very
Yeah.
extraordinary. So it's such, see this conversation where, see how much more bright every one of us is. Just like I got my hairs raised on my arms, and it's just like so beautiful. So this is the monumental turning point in human history, and that's happening through every one of us watching this, feeling this, and shining their light and opening so much more vibrantly, magnificently, gloriously, brilliantly. And that's happening. I mean, I hope you're feeling that, because you're here to be, all of us listening to this, watching this, are here as, we're the way showers, we're the people leading the way for this awakening in every one of us. So you're, everyone watching this, you're going to go on your social media and you're going to say, hey, you got to check this out, this is transformational, this interview here. And they're going to lead every one of their friends to watching this, and this is just spreading through you to every one of your friends on social media. And then it's going to spread to all of theirs, because that's what we're here for. We're here to be of greater service to more people. I say your work is opening to love, God, knowledge, whatever that is in your way of seeing that. And your purpose is to extend that to the world. So, okay, so the US elections, I know this is one country and it's like 4% of the population, and yet it's the catalyst. So, November 5th, when we had our elections in the United States, that, as a result of that ending, that concluding, that I feel it so strongly, that was a veil lifted off of human consciousness, or our human family, or collective consciousness, or the whole planet. Now scarcity, fear, lack was the order of the day before. Now that's gone. Now there's no limit. There we can see clearly now the rain is gone, and there's nothing holding us back. There's no limits anymore. There's no barriers. We're not coming from small ego anymore, 0 out of 100. We're opening to that which is. You could say, I mean, we're shining as brightly as the sun, which is our whole purpose. It's why we're here on the planet now. So it's all of us. This is our invitation to feel that, to recognize that, to express that, to exude that. I mean, just notice how much you're shifted already just from being here, and how much more you're shining your light. You're not holding back. You're not playing small. You're not, oh, what if blah, blah, blah story, mental ego. And you're just shining. And that's what, because all of us are here, like as the night gets darker, what happens? The stars we see more brightly, because the darker the world becomes, the more we are the light dispelling the darkness. And that's going back to what I mean by your work is opening to that which is, I call it God, and your purpose is extending that which is, shining your light. So this is the time for every one of us to step up courageously and open to our full potential and be that light dispelling darkness anywhere it still remains.
Wow, I love what you said. Also about, yeah, stepping up, being the light, the beacon, and with that, being the way shower. It's difficult. Shower. It's like a shower.
Oh, I like
It's
that.
like, yeah, I don't know. Way shower. I cannot pronounce this, but
Sun
you said this.
shower too.
Shower. Yeah, like a shower. It's like in the stars as well. So when we are leading by example, then it allows other people to emulate. I think this is the word. So you
Yes.
talked about the ego and the Jesus or Christ frequency, something like that. How
Yes.
do we maintain? So if someone is like, one day is a good day and it works, and then the other day the person falls back into old habits, how do you maintain this attitude?
Oh, that's a very important point as well. We've been living a certain way. We have momentum in that direction. And you know what they say, like they used to say, each of us is 90% unconscious. And I think it's more like 95% or 98%. And so it is our habits, or in Sanskrit, I love the Sanskrit language because it's metaphysical instead of like English is material. And I guess German is more material too, I think. But, with Sanskrit, the word is vasana. And that's like your old ways, your conditioning, your old programs, your limiting beliefs. And so they run us, our vasanas or our limiting beliefs or our old ways of habits, conditioning, run most people. So it's a matter of awareness. So like right now, what are you thinking about? Where are you giving your attention? Because that's where you're giving your power. So it's a matter of just being, okay, like I call it give in and go within. So you do this through your breath, and your breath is prana, vital life force. I don't know how much people know about that, but you can just feel it like, okay, I'm going to take a pause here. I'm going to just step back from whatever the situation is, even their daily lives. And okay, what's running me now? I'm going to just close my eyes, bring my attention back to my center. And you do that through taking a breath. Okay, I'm going to follow the breath. I'm going to be with the breath now. Notice how you just recenter yourself with the breath. And the breath is always there. And that's really the metaphor of saying God is there, or like I like how you say the Jesus frequency, the Christ consciousness, you could even say. And I'm becoming present with the breath. And you can do that. That's there for you all the time. That's like the greatest gift. That's like, oh, I'm getting chills again. You're reconnecting, or you're communing with the universe, the cosmos, God, Jesus, with that which is. And so you can always just take a pause and it's like, okay, wait a minute, just breathe. Okay. And then you always come back to your center then. And then you can, now you're not being run by your ego or your conditioning or your vasanas. You're choosing, okay, what is, am I just, why would I do that? Why was I thinking that? Oh, I got defensive because somebody wounded my ego or touched off my unhealed stuff. Okay, well, that's important for me to notice. So you take a witnessing position, you become the witness, and that's a higher spiritual level as well. The I am presence, you're embodying that. And that's what, okay, I was coming from ego. No, I'm going to take a breath, come back to my center. And my purpose, my sole function on the planet, the whole reason I'm here is to give love. And notice when you come from that, like you think, I think of myself as like a wellspring, like the water bubbling out of the earth. It doesn't say, oh, this person didn't love me back. No, it's all about giving. You're here to extend God. And the more you're doing that, your life is based on the contribution you are making. That's your success, happiness, joy, fulfillment, well being, peace of mind, prosperity, contribution, meaning, impact. All of that is because you're giving, you're contributing. So your whole focus is, how can I be of greater service? How can I share more love here? This person who is upset and is saying negative things to me, that person is really crying out for love. It's that simple.
It is simple. It is up to us to recognize and to be ready. And what you said about the giving part, yes, it's about focusing. And when I focus on what I have to give, then there is no lack. Nothing, only when I focus on what's not there, right? And I love the word, I have to repeat this because repetition is key as well. You
Yes.
mentioned the I am presence.
Mm.
I never heard, I mean, I know what it is. I never heard it so beautifully. So I can, I can emphasize this. Yes, I am presence. I love that. I feel the I am presence now. I love that. And of course, I have another question. Let's have a look. I'm curious as well. Can you share practical steps for listeners to stop dimming their light and begin shining their greatness in their personal and professional lives?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Let's make it, I mean, like the taking of the breath, taking a deep breath, taking a breathing pause. I think that's because how many times are people just run by their conditioning? And so, like, okay, as one of the things that I see as my role is as consciousness keeper. I think we are all consciousness keepers, and that means we are so much more powerful than we can ever even comprehend. And by us, like, this is what we do as consciousness keepers, is at the top of the hour, like in whatever 39 minutes or something, you just, so you can do this is a practical way to stay in your greatness and be present with life, because that's the only, the moment, not living in the future, not, oh, I got to do this and this. you know People aren't in the present moment, which is their only place of power. Then you do that by taking a breath. So, oh, just breathe. And you could even do that like every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes, just have your phone make a sound or something, and just like, oh, breathe. Oh yeah, breathing. So breath always brings you back to the present moment. If you ever lose that, and I hope that by doing the work, you're in your I am presence. But at the top of every hour, just consciously go into the fulfillment of your vision, why you are here, how you are here to contribute. So, and you're consciously also tapping into collective consciousness. This is what we do as consciousness keepers. So at the top of the hour, you spend like, okay, like 2 minutes before the hour, okay, I'm going to go into my vision now. I'm going to consciously connect, because you're never apart from God, collective consciousness, our human family, the earth itself. I mean, I look at us as being like cells, like white blood cells in our body, but we're like white blood cells to the planet, to Mama Gaia, Mother Earth. And so just reconnect with that. And then, like I love how you say there is no lack when you're coming from, I'm here to give, to send more love, to be that. Like a flower is, the rose doesn't care if anybody says, "Oh, you smell so pretty." No, the rose is just fragrant, and that's your nature too. You are here. I'm getting chills again. You are here as that expression of God. I mean, I look at it as each of us is God's gift to the world. You, my friend, watching this, are God's gift to the world. And by you giving that gift, how can I give that gift? Then you're not coming from ego. You're not at that, oh, nobody appreciated me. They didn't acknowledge me. No, that's coming from ego. And that's the opposite of love or God or Jesus. And so is that, I mean, we could go deeper into the practical stuff, but I think at the top of every hour, reconnect, take your deep breath, so recenter, recalibrate. Oh, I was in the old stuff again. I'm here to shine my light and be at that light in the world. And you're coming from giving. Like, okay, here's another perspective. One time I heard a quote from Neil Donald Walsh. I heard him talking, and he said that he talked about this as outgiving the universe. He says, when you focus on outgiving the universe, you get back so much more that you can then give so much more. I was so moved by this. I created a book called Outgiving the Universe. I wrote a book about this, and it became a whole coaching program. Now I talk about it as outgiving God. Because what is God? I mean, we call the name God, but it's really the infinite and unlimited. And so for you hearing this to say, wow, outgiving God, I'm going to focus on giving so much, giving so freely. That's not coming from zero, the ego, that's coming from 100, fully open to being you're God's instrument for miracles. You're also God's gift to the world. I'm God's gift to the world. How can I give my gift more fully? And that's the focus of your whole life. I'm going to give, and you're going to get so much more support in giving that much more. I would invite everyone to test that, not just as a theory. It's not just intellectual insight or knowledge or wisdom. No, live this way. Give, and just see what happens. See how much the universe or God or life supports you in being able to give that much more. What a way to live, coming from abundance, not scarcity, 100, not zero. What's more practical than that? I'm going to just give as much as I can and not hold back and not need that, because it's God's business. It's not your business. The results are God's also. So you don't need people saying, oh, you're such a good person, you're coming from the heart. No, that's just stroking ego, which is, lowering. When you're coming from that high frequency, you're here. It's all about service, and it's not your results either. It's God's results, or it's life's, or, we could go
Absolutely.
deeper into that, but does that answer your question well?
Yes. Thank you so much. I love that, and also the breathing exercise. It centers us, and it is so simple that it's overlooked by all of the or most of the people. Let's say, yes, let's do this as an exercise after listening to this episode. And I have one last question. I think it is about where can people find you if they want to reach out to you.
Oh, that's great. Okay, I appreciate that, Caroline. Well, okay. So I mentioned how the election in America was the monumental turning point in human history. By all of us hearing this and taking this to heart, and how the veil has been lifted. So I created a program which is called New Day Dawning. This is the dawning of a new day. And I want to walk you through embracing how important this new day is, and that now all limitation is gone. And there's nothing holding you back or stopping you or limiting you in any way. So that's at operationgreatness.com/new day. So that's the best place for people to become part of my work. And also, I'm always doing things on Twitter. If people are on Twitter or X, I'm at Daniel Klatt there. So that's like I have 180,000 followers there, I think. So it's like I go out of my way to serve them, except that's kind of like ego again instead of love. And so anyway, yeah, operationgreatness.com is the best way to do that. And at the New Day link is the best. operationgreatness.com/new day is the best place for us to work together.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. I put it in the show notes, of course. Please reach out to Dan. He's amazing. He shares his frequency with us, let's say. And now is time for your final thoughts to the audience, please.
Okay. I I'm very sincere about my knowing about this. This is your opportunity to shine, to fulfill your purpose, to live what I call your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma, the 5D life that you are born to live. No more playing small. That's all. Oh, I'm getting chills here. That's all from ego. That's all in the past. Now there's nothing holding you back or limiting you in any way. This is the monumental turning point in human history. And my friend, this is happening through you, by you now reaching out and stepping up, stepping into your greatness, owning your power and commanding your destiny. This is your moment. This is the moment for which you were born, for you to now lead, lead, inspire, transform, and liberate, LITL, doing a little more today than you did before. For everyone you are blessed to be able to serve, because your whole life is about being of greater service. So now I'm asking you, I'm imploring you, I'm inviting you to lead every one of your online friends to step up themselves. You're here now and you're transforming your life. You're being that inspired visionary leader. It is your destiny to be. So now lead every one of your online friends to step up and to be that inspired visionary leader of every one of their friends. So, for example, I mean, I don't know how many people are connected with you on social media, but right now, lead every one of them to watching our conversation right here. You're inspiring them, you're transforming their lives. And like if you lead 1,200 people to watch this and you're leading them through doing this themselves, stepping up and being that best version of themselves, your 1,200 people, and they're doing that with their 1,200 people. That's 1,440,000 people you transformed, and them doing that with their 1,200. That's 1.7 billion people. That's like almost everybody. I mean, you have the power to transform the world. And like I said, you are God's gift to the world. So this is your invitation to fulfill that fullness of that gift, to give fully, not holding back, playing small. That's all from ego. You're so much better than that. And this is your invitation to be all that you are.
Wow, this was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm blessed by our interview and inspired now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for opening to this being all it can be for every one of us. Thank you, Caroline. This show is such a gift. You are such a gift. Thank you for being that gift.
Oh,
All
thank
of us, every one of us, thank you for being that gift you are.
Let's be the gift and share it. And see you in the next episode.